everyone, and welcome back to a time trial guide here in Gran Turismo 7. Apologies for the small delay here. It's A-level results day, and for those that don't know, I work in a college, so it is very busy in terms of today. Even so, we're here now at the Nürburgring GP in the Amemiya RX-7 on racing medium tyres. Medium to hard difficulty here. The chicane is very much annoying, and a gold estimate of around a 2-minute 4.6 second lap should hopefully get you that 2 million credits and gold at the end of the 2 weeks. Now, if you do enjoy these videos, as always, give them a like, subscribe to the channel to stay in touch with all the latest content. But what we're going to do is jump straight into this one, and I'm going to explain how to do this lap and hopefully get you those 2 million credits, which will help you buy some of the cool cars in Gran Turismo 7. So we start already in 4th gear as we cross the line here, as we head down towards turn 1, okay? Stay in 4th gear, don't go to 5th gear here. And what we're looking for on the left-hand side is we've got this runoff area, piece of tarmac, it goes to grass. So we just want to brake just before we get to that marker on the left-hand side, okay? Now, in terms of chase cam view, you can see that right here, how close that is there. You can maybe use some of the stadium on the left-hand side as well. I want you to brake hard in a straight line, keep it towards the left-hand side, and as you start to release the brakes, then turn in and take a nice tight line. Instantly go on throttle there. You need aggression on the throttle there. As we go into this left-hander, looking for that escape road on the right-hand side. This is your lift-off marker. Now, you are going to suffer some power oversteer with this car throughout the lap, including on turn 1 that we've just done there, so just be careful of it. It's going to help us on this corner, though, so we're going to rev the car, stay in 2nd gear for a little while here, revving it, and then we're going to go to 3rd gear with a short shift. That gives us a bit of balance, because obviously the revs are lower then, and we can accelerate through the corner. In terms of our accelerating marker, though, up ahead we have an orange painted barrier and also a little tower there in the distance. You can also use the portal loop if you want to use that as well. As they approach the center of your screen, that is when you want to start accelerating. Notice that I came off 100%, went down to 90, and then went back to 100%. Now, I've paused it here. You don't brake here. You're going to brake a bit further on. But I wanted to point out the marker on the left-hand side. That lamppost, as it disappears off your screen, is a brilliant, brilliant, brilliant marker. So I highly recommend using that. You can try and use the dark green, the end of it, that I highlighted as well, but it's a bit too far in my opinion. So I trail brake 2nd gear. I don't cut the corner too much down the left-hand side because it can invalidate. As I go through here, I went to 3rd gear and then I continue on out. Don't run too wide there and don't run out wide too early, otherwise you will get an invalidated lap. We're going to head towards the next corner then, and this is where the short circuit veers away from the Nürburgring GP layout, and we stay on the GP layout, okay? So this marker here, where the white lines are, is your brake mark. You brake just before you get to this. I did try brake after this, and you can do it, but you just have a slow corner. So brake a bit earlier and carry the momentum. Notice here, I'm going to try and maintain 80 miles an hour. Just dropped below. I'm instantly on the throttle there in 3rd gear. The second to last red bit on the curb down the left-hand side, this is your brake mark for this right-hander. You can do this 2 ways. You can drop to 2nd gear and you'll get a bit of rotation, or you can stay in 3rd gear and you might get a bit of understeer, but you'll get a bit of stability on the exit. On this particular lap, I stay in 3rd gear and then going to accelerate out of the corner. Because I stayed in 3rd gear, the rear didn't actually rotate too much. In 2nd gear, that rear will rotate a little bit more. You have a little bit less grip. So you may suffer on exit, which you must be in 3rd gear for, a bit of power oversteer. As we come into here then, you've got 2 brake markers. You've got the drainage there on the left-hand side, or the cabin on the right-hand side. Both these brilliant brake markers. I highly suggest you V-shape this hairpin, okay? And what I mean by this is you're going to aim towards the inside corner. Notice how I do that. And then release the brakes, the car rotates. And then I'm looking for these 2 markers. I've got a bit of concrete there up ahead as it hits the middle. Alternatively, the start of the exit curve there on the right-hand side. Notice I've gone to 3rd gear. I hit the brakes in 2nd gear. I've gone up to 3rd gear for a nice exit. I will talk about short shift in this car because all the power is from 5,000 to 7,000 RPM. We continue on out there. We go up to 4th gear. Now, the Schumacher S is very difficult, okay? There's some weird bumps, and you saw it there. I had to lift off a little bit. You can do this flat. However, I highly recommend you lift because the bumps there can force some understeer and just send you off completely. Now, we get out of the Schumacher S, we head towards this left-hander here, and you've got 2 markers. I use the one on the right here. So just after that marker disappears off the screen, it's where the short circuit meets the GP circuit here. That is my brake marker. I want to stay towards the right-hand side here, staying on the light green stuff as I get to it. I then release the brakes and turn in. Try and abuse a little bit of the curb there, instantly on the throttle. Head over towards the left-hand side. Now, you can use the marshal if you want to on the left. I don't. I use a judgment on the right-hand side where that tarmac is about to run out. So as it reduces there in size, I'm going to hit the brakes and turn in. Critically for this corner, you're going to short shift to 4th gear in the middle of it. Watch how I do it. So as I go into here, trail brake a little bit, 4th gear, and then I power out the corner. The reason for this is, as I said earlier, the power is between 5,000 and 7,000 RPM. There is a bit of a gear shift delay, which I know is the H-box changing gear. So it actually benefits you being in 4th gear as you leave that corner. we're going to head to what is arguably the most annoying corner on this circuit, the chicane. So we've got the 100 board there, or the drainage as it widens. Alternatively, we do have the building on the right-hand side. So you're braking at this point. So it's just before these markers, okay? So you're using these as a distance marker. Now, the chicane, the way this suspension setup is on this car, it can bounce you all over the place. So I'm in third gear right now. You can drop to second gear if you want. Try and cut as much of the left as you can and avoid the bollard on the right-hand side. If you hit the bollard, it will invalidate this lap and the next one. It's very annoying indeed. Finally, on the left-hand side, we have the marshals and the orange painted barrier. This is your final brake marker. Similar to the hairpin earlier in the lap, you're going to sort of aim towards the corner and then release the brakes and then let the car turn. I would recommend staying in third gear for this. However, when you start a lap, you're going to start this in fourth gear. But third gear here is more than enough as we accelerate through the corner. Once again, we get to around 7,000 RPM, 7,500. Actually, we don't. We actually stay in gear there to avoid that gear shift delay. We're going to go to a pad lap now on the controller, so gamepad, controller, whatever you want to call it. Head towards turn number 1 here, and just as the tarmac ends, the grass is there, we're going to hit the brakes. We start to release the brakes as we get near the corner, instantly get aggressive on the throttle, accelerate out the corner. Notice a bit of a wiggle there. Escape road on the right side is our lift-off marker. We did add the brakes on this particular run. You don't need to do that. We're up to third gear then as we leave the corner. Notice a bit of a wiggle there. Before the end of the green stuff there, we hit the brakes. Staying out wide a little bit here, then coming back onto the left-hand side there, giving a wide line for this right-hander. Short shift to third gear, accelerate through the corner. Don't run too wide too early, and make sure you're back inside the white line before the end of that runoff area. As the short circuit veers off here, we're going to hit the brakes, drop to third gear and turn in. A little bit wide here for this particular one, so we lost a bit of time. Second to last bit of red on the curb in there is our brake marker. Notice how we went to second gear there, and notice how the car rotated. Unfortunately, it rotated a bit too much, so it forced some understeer on the exit there, but make sure you're in third gear on the exit. I am over-revving the car a little bit here. I apologise for that, but obviously as you do the time trial, you start to learn this sort of stuff, and it's why the video exists. So there's the curb, the exit curb there. We're in third gear as we accelerate out that corner, and we continue on up here then. So we're going to change to fourth gear. Again, we're over-revving a bit too much here as we go into this left-hander. On the pad, the Schumacher S is absolutely horrendous. That bump really chucked you off there, so do be careful on the pad. Okay, we're going to head towards left-hander. The end of that concrete there, as the short circuit rejoins there, we hit the brakes, turn in, through we go. Head over towards the left-hand side, marshal on the left. Tarmac on the right, either one of those. Need to go up to fourth gear as we do right there. We did miss the apex a little bit. It's going to cost us a little bit of time then as we continue on out of that corner, and we're going to head towards the chicane now. So remember, it's just before the 100 board or as the drainage widens, okay? They are your two markers, or alternatively the building, but we're going to use the 100 board here, brake just before it there, and as we go into this corner, you cut all of the left. We got a lovely bounce here. Look how much a bounce impacts you there. That's my ghost. Look how much I gained on it. Insane. And that is critical to this, right? That chicane can make or break a lap very easily. So I've not spent too much more time on it because it was just frustrating me no ends with that bounce. Even so, we're going to head towards the line here. This is a 202.633, and you can follow this on the leaderboards as well. And I'll show you how to a little bit later on. We'll do this on chase cam then, so heading towards turn 1 just for the 100 board. Where that tarmac goes to grass there, we're going to hit the brakes. ABS is on weak for those wondering that. As we go through here, instantly on the throttle, head over towards the right-hand side. There's the escape road, lift off, and we're just going to turn in. Short shift to third gear, accelerate through the corner, head out wide a little bit, come back. Lamppost to the left is a really good mark here, especially on chase cam. We hit the brakes. Let's stay out wide a little bit longer there. Head over towards the left-hand side. Short shift to third gear as we go through this right-hander. A little bit of oversteer, but we managed to catch it. Don't go wide too early there, and we are fine with this lap. We're going to head towards left-hander, so as the short circuit veers off here, with the white line there, we're going to hit the brakes. We're going to trail brake through the corner, trying to maintain 80 miles an hour if you can, and then the end of the curb there is our brake marker. So we stay in third gear on the chase cam here as we continue on through. Use all the curb on the exit as well. If you are struggling with oversteer, do straighten out that steering straight away. It will help you out massively. So drainage on the left or cabin on the right. Use either of these brake markers. As we go into here, we're going to V-shape it. So there we go. We go out. We get the car rotated up to third gear, and we're going to exit the corner. We're going to head over towards the right-hand side. Be careful here. Slight lift is very beneficial, and that's what we're going to do here. As we turn in, slight lift. There we go. The car actually gets turned in then with the bumps, and we can continue on through. We're going to head up here then. It's actually as a short circuit joint here. I made a little mistake here. It's here at the end of the concrete there and the escape road there. That is our brake marker as we go through this left-hander. Head over towards the left. I use the tarmac. Use the marshal if you want. Hit the brakes. Fourth gear. That's critical for the exit of this corner. It will save you a tenth at least here. Nice and easy as we continue on out of there. We're going to head towards the chicane. Remember, it's just before the 100 or the drainage is what we're looking for here. You can use the building as well on top right if you really want to, but the marker is there. Hit the brakes here. Cut as much as you can of the left. Hope you get a nice bounce. It's critical for this. Notice that I didn't, so I had to take a bit of an avoiding action on the bollard there because I didn't want to invalidate this lap. We're going to head towards the final corner. The orange painted bar on the left-hand side is our brake marker. We trail brake in. We're going to stay in third gear, remember, as we head towards the line to stop that gear shift delay, and it will maximize our time as we get to the line, okay? And here we go. It will ruin the next lap, though, but there is a 202.104. Going to go to VR here then, so as we head towards turn 1, it's the same brake marker we've used on all the other angles that we've tried here, and there it is. So we're going to hit the brakes here. That beep is very annoying if you are using VR. So second gear, as we go through here, instantly on throttle, head over towards the right-hand side. Escape road is there. Going to lift off a little bit as we go into this corner, up to third gear. It's starting to accelerate as those icons go to the center of your screen that I talked about earlier on. We're then going to get to the end of the green there, or the lamppost there, and hit the brakes. Notice the later turn in again, up to third gear as we go through here. Cut the inside, accelerate out the corner, and then breathe a little bit that you've done sector 1, because that can also be quite an annoying sector. That's a short circuit, disappears to our right. We're going to hit the brakes here. Trail brake all the way into the corner. Clip the curb if you can. There we go. Accelerate through, over towards the left side. Second to the last red bit of the curb. We then turn in for this right-hander. Third gear on exit. Use all of the curb if you want to. I did clip the gravel a couple of times on laps, and while it slows you down by half a tenth, at least you keep your lap, which is the main thing here. You just have to that 2 million credits. Unless you're going for rank 1, then you probably don't need this video anyway. Right, there's the exit curb. We can look round the corner as well, which is beautiful in VR. So we can accelerate out there. Up to fourth gear we go. And as we go up to the right-hand side curb, we're going to lift off, turn in. Oh, a little bit of understeer there. I did miss the apex by a tiny bit. As we continue on towards this left-hander, head over towards the right-hand side. There's the concrete. As the tarmac appears, we're going to hit the brakes, turn in, use all the green on the left-hand side, accelerate over towards the left then, marshal or end of tarmac. We're going to short shift to fourth gear. There it is. We can really put the power down now as we go through this corner and head towards the chicane for the final time here on this Nürburgring GP time trial lap then. So right-hand side, I'm not using the building here. I'm going to be using the 100 board, braking before we get to it. There it is. Hit the brakes then. Third gear as we go into here. Now, do we get a nice bump this time? I'll tell you what, in VR, you can miss the bollard a bit easier because you can see how the car is handling a bit better. So there is that. Orange paint barrier on the left-hand side is our final brake marker. Trail braking into the corner. Third gear as we go through here. Accelerate towards the line. And a little bit of a wiggle on exit on this particular lap. You do have to be careful of that. I did go to fourth gear, which did cost me some time, if you noticed, versus the Ghost. And that is the laps, all in a nutshell, here at the Nürburgring GP layout. But how do you get there, Tidge, you are asking? Well, if you are new to the game, here's how to do it. Here's your main menu. I'm going to go to the top right-hand side where there is a sports button. Let's press into sport. That's available at level 10 cafe. Head over towards the right-hand side, then we have online time trials. We click into there, and we've got these 2 time trials right now. So if you do both of them, you'll get 2 million in each. Happy days. We're going to go into the Nürburgring one, because this is the video. And on the top left-hand side, you've got the gold, the silver, and the bronze time there for you, okay? So I've already predicted the time in terms of the gold time. So if you get underneath that gold time right now, you should get 2 million credits, unless Calster improves his time or someone beats Calster. Now, if you're wondering how to look at some laps here, you can head over towards the leaderboards then. So leaderboards on both of those selections, and you can have a look at any lap you like. You can also do this when you're at the track, and obviously follow a Ghost as well, like I did on the pad lap. There's my VR lap if you want to load that. Alternatively, my pad lap is currently on TCR_Tidgney if you want to follow that. But that is the time trial guide all done and dusted. Critical here is the short shifting. Make sure you get that right. Control the oversteer, because this does feel very much like a drift car, and you should be able to get 2 million credits here, because if you can control that, I think the time is very much doable. But do let me know how you have found this video. Has it been of help or not? Let me know in the comments. Do give it a like as well. Subscribe to the channel to stay in touch with all the latest content. But that is going to be it for me now, folks. Do check out my partners down below, Fanatec, GT Amiga, and Coach Dave Academy. And if you need help with the previous time trial, well, it's right there for you. Alternatively, if you're stuck on the weekly races, it's right there as well. Big thank you for watching as always, and I hope to see you in another video or live stream again very soon.